Okay, our next lesson is 1.2. It's called naming angles. What is an angle? Well, an angle is formed when two straight lines or rays meet at a common endpoint called the vertex. Okay, so I made a little diagram here for you. So this would be called a ray because it has an endpoint and it extends in one direction forever. And then here's an endpoint. See, they share this common endpoint, so it's called the vertex. And this ray would continue forever. So the angle is actually this amount of opening. Think of a door hinging open. Okay, we've heard of like a right angle, 90-degree angle. It's how far the rays are apart from each other. So this is actually the angle where we can measure. Okay, but today we're just talking about naming them. So what if you have two rays and a vertex? These are just our basic angles. Name each marked angle in as many ways as possible. All right, so what's interesting about angles is you can actually name it just by its vertex as long as there's only one angle there. So this is our angle symbol, kind of looks like a greater than symbol. Our vertex in this case would be C. So I could call this angle C, that's fine. The other option to name an angle is to use 3 letters, and you would go in order where the vertex is in the middle. So you would start at one ray, let's say B, then work your way to the vertex C, then end up at the other ray. So we could call this angle BCA. And then we could go the opposite direction. We could go A to the vertex C to B. Those are the only 3 options for this angle. You never want to give 2 letters because if you did, you'd just be talking about a ray and not an angle. Okay? And see how the middle letter is going to be your vertex. All right, on the second example, we cannot simply call this angle F. Because if I said angle F, that could be here at this angle where they're talking about. That could be here. Or that could be the whole thing. So that is not enough information because there's actually 2 angles formed here at point F. So if we're going to talk about specifically the angle that they have shaded, we would have to say angle DFE. See how F is our vertex? Or other way, EFD. Okay, so those are our options. Now you might get some examples of triangles. Same thing. This is where our definition came into play where it says either 2 straight lines or rays. We don't have rays, we have lines, but same concept. So since there's only one angle here at N, I can call this just simple angle N. I could call it angle ONM. Or I could call it MNO. Those are my 3 options. All right, and then this other triangle, again, I cannot call this angle K because there's an angle here and an opening here. So K is not enough info. I specifically want the shaded angle right here. So I would have to call this angle IKL or LKI. Okay, and then the last shapes you might see is a quadrilateral. Quad means 4, so it's any 4-sided shape. This could be called angle R. It could be called QRS or SRQ. Okay, and then the other quadrilateral, talking about this angle, so we cannot call it Q, we could call it OQP or PQO. So you can see how the vertex is here in the middle. And that's how you name angles.